These medallions, printed with the words "Drains to the Neponset River," have been placed by several storm drains throughout downtown Walpole. They are part of an ongoing awareness campaign from the Neponset River Watershed Association to inform residents of how stormwater drains can contribute to local water quality issues. On the chilly morning of Friday, December 9th, environmental scientist Declan Devine explains to a group of volunteers why stormwater runoff is an important area of focus for the group's mission to clean and protect the Neponset River.
Storm drains are like those steel grates you see in the road or in parking lots that take all the water off the road so you don't have a giant flood every time it rains. So they're really important. And a lot of people think the water that goes into them gets treated in some way or cleaned, and it doesn't. It goes directly to the nearest water body in almost every case without any filtration or treatment. So any pollution that's on pavement, like oil, gas, tire rubber, dirt, leaves, anything like that, goes into the storm drain and comes out to the nearest stream. So that's one of the main sources of water pollution for the Neponset River. At this point, most of the factories and wastewater treatment plants are pretty much cleaned up, so the main source is just the water coming off of pavement.
The awareness campaign is overseen by the Neponset Stormwater Partnership, a regional program managed by the Neponset River Watershed Association that assists local communities with stormwater cleanup efforts. According to Devine, the project aims to eliminate the misconception that stormwater runoff will eventually go on to be treated or filtered, and to increase public support for new infrastructure to address water pollution.
There's kind of a couple goals with doing these markings. One is like an actual behavior change goal of, so people don't throw their dog poop bags into the catch basins and don't dump car oil and old paint and stuff like that. And then there's also just sort of an awareness objective of helping more people understand that these drains are directly connected to the streams so that the town can have support for doing improvements to treating stormwater. A lot of towns have been building these different types of green infrastructure, which is sort of like rain gardens and things like that, where basically you can take that water, store it somewhere and let it soak into the ground. There's like retention ponds and infiltration basins. Some things we can fix with behavior change, like dog poop bags and motor oil, but as long as we have a storm drain system, there's going to be leaves and pollen and dirt. It's natural for a few leaves to fall into the river from the trees nearby, but it wouldn't be natural for the leaves from every paved surface in Walpole to end up in the river, and it creates too much nutrients and algae blooms and stuff like that. We're hoping that by teaching more people that this storm drain system is connected to the river, there'll be more public support for the town to actually build infrastructure that is going to treat the water. And so yeah, towns are building those. Part of that is because they're required to by EPA now. EPA is increasingly regulating stormwater in all of the watershed towns. So yeah, there's definitely lots of movement towards improvement, but there's, probably 2,000 storm drains in Walpole. And it's going to take a huge amount of resources to figure out how to treat all that stormwater.
Volunteers worked in pairs using wire brushes and construction-grade adhesive to label the drains on their assigned lists and document them for future analysis. Lifelong Walpole resident Julie Cuniff, whose father joined her for the volunteer event, has seen firsthand the impact that pollutants can have on the town's water.
Well, growing up here in Walpole, and my dad working as part of the DPW, Department of Public Works here in Walpole, I was always around the town forest and grew up skating on the ponds around town. We even live up near Cobb's Pond, and you can see just how much the water runoff from the streets really affects the ponds. Cobb's Pond, where I grew up, looks much different now than when I used to play around that area 30 years ago. So, working on some of this cleanup to really help just keep the bodies of water around town clean is just important to me to try to preserve what we have, because so much of that backwash into the water supplies can really help erode and develop algae blooms and things like that can cause a lot of damage to the water systems that we have here in town.
Kevin Izzo, a member of the Neponset River Watershed Association, said he wants to help preserve the Neponset River so future generations can enjoy it the way he does now.
We're out here marking the storm drains in the town of Walpole. This is really an educational type of activity so that people in Walpole know that the stormwater drains directly into the river and the ocean. I live right on the edge of the Neponset watershed, and I hike every day up along the Beaver Brook in Sharon. So I spend a lot of time walking along a tributary to the Neponset, and I really enjoy it. It's wonderful being out in nature. I want to do things that help to protect it.
To find more information about the Neponset River Watershed Association or to see upcoming volunteer opportunities, you can visit their website at www.neponset.org. For Walpole Media, this is Jessica Kurgo.